So when you are looking at news that you've come across, what are some quick good signs and bad signs to help tell, just like right off the bat, should I even like keep reading this, or is this probably like not
Yeah.
a good source?
A lot of times I like to, one of the first things I like to start with is I look for judgment words in headlines.
Hmm.
I might still read an article, but if there's a lot of judgment words, they probably have an opinion. Um, it might also be, labeled as an opinion piece, and I don't want to say that people shouldn't be able to express their opinions. But when I'm looking at news, if they're calling, people subjective terms, it's usually a sign to at least be like wary that it's not going to be 100. These people have made up their mind about one.
Right.
Um,
And I think it's also important that like if you if you are reading an opinion piece, newspapers have opinion pieces, they're in the opinion section.
yeah,
And it's a little bit harder sometimes when there's no sections on your news feed. So I think if it's not labeled opinion and it seems like it might be opinion, that's a little bit of a red flag.
and sometimes it's a little hard to pick that out.
Mhm.
I actually liked in one of your articles that you had sent me on it, where they had three nice, like, hey, look at these points, because the truth is, librarians get up there, and I've taught these classes. We will teach these really long, complicated systems that have like 5 and 6 things to do, and nobody's going to do that
Right.
when they're just scrolling through Facebook or something else. So I think, and I really liked that you wanted, and one of the first one was motivation. What are they getting out of this? Credibility cues. Who posted this? You know, and yes, you might think grandma wouldn't lie to me, but did grandma get lied to? Is another question to ask yourself. Your grandmother probably wouldn't deliberately do that to you, but if she doesn't know the difference, you should probably stop and look at where she got it. Think about where did she get this
Right.
from? And the third one that I really liked in there was just to stop and think about confirmability. If only one story about something that seems hugely important is on the internet, that's kind of a giant red flag, because why would no one else be reporting this story?
Yeah. Say you read an article about something and maybe the headline was it elicited emotion in you and you thought this seems like they're trying to get me to feel a certain way. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. All you have to do is go over to Google and Google it, and you can tend to see the majority of the search results will trend in a certain way. And then there are also more specific fact checking websites.
And if you're not going to take the time to Google, I would say it's more important to remember to just be a little bit more cautious. One of my favorite ones to do is if I click on a link and I take it to a website, is I click on their links.
Hmm.
If they've put links in their story that all go back to them and their articles, I consider that kind of a little circumspect, because they clearly don't want me leaving their website, especially if they're citing a study or statistics. If
Right.
you are citing a study or statistics that I can find even not full text access to, I would prefer to get a link to where I can actually get it. Even if it's a journal, obviously, that's going to be behind a paywall. At least I know it's real.